Hello YouTube, Reseller Mom here. Welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to go through with you how to pull and analyze your long-term storage fees. So this is going to be the same thing for long-term storage fees and your monthly storage fees. We're going to cover both of those in this video. So thank you for joining me today. If this video helps you out, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already a follower, I would love to have you here. One of my things in January and June is to kind of go through and rework my systems, fix what's broken, improve anything that is working, get rid of anything that isn't working. And one of the things I need to be more on top of is my storage fees. Things get it's hard to keep up on everything Amazon, right? So I am working it in to once a month pull my storage fees and make sure that I am getting rid of anything that isn't moving beyond top and make sure things are at the velocity that I want. And if they're not, make sure that I am fixing whatever needs to be done. So let's go pull those reports. I've got some screenshots to share with you on where and how to pull them and what to look for. And then I also wanted to kind of go through just a little bit of Excel data manipulation that helps me look at things. So when you see my data, it's already cleaned up. At the end here, I'm going to go through and just give you some pointers. So if you're kind of new to Excel or Google Sheets and you just never really have worked with spreadsheets and you're like, why my data doesn't look like that? I will show you at the end because just a few little tricks that will help you be able to visually see your data in a way that will be easier to process it. So from your main menu, you're going to go to reports and go to fulfillment. Everybody should have this option. This section is going to have everything in it. If there's a report you need, it's in this section. This is where I go to pull my voice of the customer, my feedback, my returns, my storage fees. Anything you want to know is going to be in this back fulfillment. If you are calculating the value of your inventory and you need to know, like, did I have any inventory in that warehouse that caught on fire or whatever, this is where you're going to go pull those reports. It's kind of the nitty gritty of Amazon. It's not super intuitive back here. Sometimes it's a little rough. It's a little data analytical in this area. It's not very user friendly. So just be aware. From this report page, as you see on the left is where all of the reports are that you can get. So multi-channel fulfillment inventory, inventory ledger, your dangerous goods status, inventory, restock inventory, stranded inventory. They got a whole bunch. And then you can even click the show more and get more. For this monthly storage fees, you're going to go all the way down to payments, which is on the left, go all the way down to payments, and find both the aged inventory surcharge report, that's a mouthful, isn't it? And the monthly storage fees. These are two different charges because Amazon likes to have many different fees. And there's just fees. There's a lot of fees. Welcome to Amazon. There's a lot of fees. That should be their slogan. I went ahead and made these two reports my favorites. I do like that they are now allowing us to have bookmarks and favorites for those things that we constantly are going to. Very nice upgrade. One of the few improvements Amazon has done that I fully approve of. All right, next you're going to click the event month. Let's see here. It is June 13th, and so I kind of want to look at May's. I have done some work on clearing out old inventory in the last 2 weeks, but I feel that a May report is going to be more accurate than a June report. Not to mention, like, long-term storage fees are going to be calculated on the 15th, so it's the 13th. I don't know if that report's going to be that great. So I'm going to go ahead and pick May. And you can either request a CSV download or a text download. If you do a text download, it's going to put it into a notepad and it's going to be very garbly looking. And when you open that notepad and you see that, you're going to press Control C, or if you're on a MacBook, Command C, and it will copy it if you need to select everything, first do Command A, Command or Control. It's vice versa if you're on a Mac or Windows. So I do Control A, Control C. So Control A selects everything. Control C copies everything. Control V is going to be to paste it in whatever you want. So if you are working on a Mac or you just don't have Excel, or you want to work in Google Sheets, you can either do the CSV or the text and then copy it and put it into whatever you're working in. So, everybody has Google Sheets, at least I hope everybody's familiar with Google Sheets by now. You don't have to have Excel per se. You can go ahead and do the text, copy it, paste it into Google Sheets and have the data that way. And I don't remember what it is for Macs. My Mac knowledge, what is it, words or notes or numbers? Anyhow, I've had people comment on videos that, hey, I downloaded it and I got a Excel file and not a text, or I got a text and not Excel. So that's the difference right there. Next, once you paste it in, I like to look at just my product name and my estimated storage fee. And this one was the monthly storage fees. So I want to know how much I'm paying, because again, my goal for this project is to cut some of my monthly expenses, and my storage fees are higher. And I believe I can cut and shave a few $100 there by getting rid of some old inventory, moving it along however I choose to move it along, and get that storage fee number down. So I've already sorted the data. I've already hidden everything that I don't want to look at. And I just want to look at the product name and my estimated monthly storage fee. And I will sort this data. It does not come sorted. That's what we're going to do at the end of this video, and go through my worst performers. So I've got something that's costing me $13 a month. I don't need that. I really don't. That needs to go. And at that point, this one I'll probably just liquidate or dispose of. There's a lot of ways you can get rid of product that is an eyesore, it's not moving, whatever. You can do advertising, you can run a sale, you can run a promotion, you can cross-post it over to Amazon, Mercari, and do multi-channel fulfillment. You can have it recalled back to you, rework it into something that is profitable. You can do the liquidation and or disposal, pay a small fee, or get a small return and get it out of your inventory. There's, like I said, many different ways you can get rid of it. What it is and how much time and effort you want to put into it, that's going to make that decision. There's some things that I'm like, I spent $3 on that. I really don't care. Just get rid of it. And others that I'm going, that's good product. There was something going on. There was a glitch or whatever. And if I recall this product, I can rework it and make some profit off of it. So you got to analyze each one individually. But again, goal, get the data, sort the data, go through and do the action items of the data. So I will go through, and now I need to figure out my minimum. So I've got a bunch of $2 items. I may go all the way down to $1, but I will either attack this by a limit or by a time frame. So I will now sit down with this data, and my goodness, I could spend all day on this, right? You can go through things, and that's what it is with Amazon. You can go through and find replens for all day long. You can go through and tweak your listings all day long. You can go through and do inventory adjustments or look at your stats all day long. So to help me keep sane, I either say I'm going to do this for 1 hour time or 2 hour time, however you want to say it, or I'm going to do it for the worst 10% or everything that's under $2, whatever that decision is. I got to kind of tally this up and see how much it's going to, what the amount is, and that's going to drive that decision too. So if I say I want to shave $50 off my monthly storage fees, I will highlight down, and you can really just select the cell, highlight down until the sum is at 50. If you're in Excel, that sum number is at the bottom. Let's see, if you're looking at the screen, it's in the bottom right a little bit. If you're on a Google Sheets, I think it's the bottom left, and I don't know for Mac where that number is, but you go through until the amount you've saved your business is X amount, a block of time, or a certain amount. Maybe you just want to go through 50 items and get rid of 50 items. However you want to do it, make sure you have some sort of limit or completion. I find that that's really important when running my own business, is that I have a start and a defined finish line. When I don't have a defined finish line, I always feel like I'm not accomplishing everything, like I didn't get it done. When you have those open-ended things, it's the same at home. If I say, I just want to have a clean house. Well, you know what? The reality is I'm never going to have a clean house. But if I say I want to get the dishwasher unloaded and this one countertop clean, I can get those done. And then I get that sense of accomplishment, and it motivates me to get more done and not feel like it's a perpetual, never-ending battle. All right, next report. We're going to go to aged inventory surcharge report. They used to do aged inventory, what was it, every 6 months? I think it was, it was in the spring and in the fall, and now they've switched to more of a monthly. I don't know. Then they gave you this breakdown, and it just sounded like garbly-gook. If you have 50 items on the first, but then on the second you have 28, but then the storage capacity was this, then your surcharge is going to be a fraction of the value of what the customer might have paid for it minus the average return. I'm going, that's how Amazon emails sound to me, man. It's too much. This one has two options. You can either view online or you can download. Viewing online might work. I don't know yet. Right now, I'm just going to kind of pull the reports once a month and work on it that way and see how that goes. Sometimes you got to just pick a lane and see how it works. You also have to pick the event month. I, again, am picking May so that I compare May with May. And a lot of things that are on that first report probably going to be on this report too, right? You can either do a CSV file or a text file again, and then you can see what reports you've pulled in the past. All right, this one I did not clean it up as well, but I did do a little bit of cleaning, and I did want to keep a few more things in the other one. So in this one, I've got the product name, condition, the per unit fee, the currency, the volume, country, quantity, amount, surcharge, rate, and again, I'll sort these and whatever. What I did like on this report is it tells me no listing means I've already gone through and deleted it. Like I've already cleared that one out, so I don't need to do any action items on that. So that's kind of cool. Once I have these all, we'll dive into now how to sort the data, because I think that's equally as important. I don't know about you guys, but when I get huge data dumps from Amazon, it's very overwhelming. I'm like, oh my God, it just looks like, reminds me of those pictures that you used to stare at and then the image would pop out at you. I mean, it's just so much garbly-gook on the screen, and I've got to make sense out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up let's close this, and I will bring up my data set that I brought to play with you guys, that I kind of just took mine, and then I changed my SKU, FSN SKU, ASIN, and product description all to just ABC for privacy. But this is kind of what it's going to slam at you, and it's going to be like, oh my gosh, where do I start? What do I do? All right, the first thing I do with my data whenever I get it from Amazon is I either click this box that is to the left of the A and the top of the 1. And this selects your whole data spreadsheet. Now you can either do that or go through and select the columns that you want to sort, that you want to be able to sort through. Now, I typically like to add one or two more that's just like notes or comments or whatever, so that if I do leave something, I can come back and it will just stay with my sorting. Because if I just sort these columns and not my notes will stay up here, but these will get sorted and that group of data will stay together. So, if I just want to have notes to myself, then I can leave them here and just sort my data. But if I want to have the note attached to that data line, then I'll want to have that selected as well, so that I can filter and keep the notes in touch. And some of the comments that I will put on here is, recalled or, made a change or added to advertising. Maybe I want to just do a little advertising or a little sale or promotion. I can put a little note there that says, started promotion on 6/13 for $2 or whatever the case may be. And then when I go back and I look at this data next week, in my chunk of time that I'm doing this in, I have all my notes kind of there, and I can follow up and see, did that result in sales? Did it do anything? Maybe the browse nodes were gone and I added the browse nodes, and I want to make sure that I go back and check that in a week, because maybe it was just a messed up listing and now it's fixed and it will get sorted. All right, we're going to select the columns, and up here we're going to select data and then filter. This way, now these are all tied together and I can go through and sort. Now I like to spread them out just a hair, because I can't even read the tops. And then get rid of anything that I don't really need to know. Like, I don't need to know the snapshot date. For this video, we don't need to know the SKU, the FSN SKU. Sometimes I keep ASIN up there, sometimes I don't. I'm going to select the columns that I want, and I can jump around and select whichever ones I'm holding the control button on my keyboard. If you are on a Mac, hold the command button. So maybe volume unit, I don't really care about volume. I'm only pulling US right now, so don't really care to see that. And currency, I don't really need currency. Then I'm going to right click and I'm going to hide those columns. See how that worked? All right. Now, I don't really need to know the age. I don't really need to know the quantity. Maybe I need to know the quantity. When I'm going and looking, and if I can see, okay, I did a change and I had 7 and now I have 2, maybe that would be helpful. So let's go ahead and we will hide that one. And per unit volume, I don't think this is applicable either. So we're going to hide that. Now I do like condition, and I will typically make the item name my biggest column, because that's going to have the most information. With this, what I do like to do is I like to highlight the whole column, go over to home, and you're going to click this wrap text. And what it does is, if you have a text that goes all the way long and then it's going off into Timbuktu, but you can't see it because it's way too long, that wrapped text is going to allow you to you know what, let me copy this. Let's see here. We'll just change the product name here to that. Okay, so this is what it looks like wrapped. It brings it all down. And if I don't wrap it, see how it's cut off? It just goes off into no man's land. But if I wrap it, then I can see the whole thing. This is super important for me in bundles, because a lot of times the bundle variation or whatnot is going to be worked into maybe the end, or I don't know. I need to see the whole title. So that is what wrapping does. To get the sorting now, there's a few things you can do. You can filter by equals, does not equal, begins with, ends with, contains, does not contain, custom filter, or just select. So sometimes I will sort my items by name, then all of the ones that are starting off named the same are going to be together. In this scenario, I want to do by amount charged, right? So I can just say largest to smallest. That's kind of what I want. Then I can look down and see, okay, I've got anything from $2 or more I want to address. So I'm going to highlight that data set and make sure that I go through and address each one with that. For when I'm pulling from Inventory Lab, my inventory data, and I want to find small and light items, I will go like this, and I will search less than, and I will go less than $12.01, because small and light is $12 or less. And then the data is going to show me everything that's $12 or less. In this scenario, maybe I want to do everything less than $1.99 and just look at that chunk. You can do it in between. Maybe I want to look at everything that's between $1.50 and $3. Whatever. It helps to know how to do that. To undo it, because maybe you can do that too, we're just going to unclick that, and we're going to, oops, let's click the right things. We are going to just select all. We want to take this off. No. How do we take it off? Remove the filter. There we go. Clear filter. I have been working Google Sheets way too long. My Excel knowledge is a little rusty. There we go. So I like to highlight mine because then it gives me a definite, spot. And I'm feeling kind of warm and fuzzy today, so I'm going to pick a different color. Let's see. Let's pick a different pretty color. Maybe green because we're going to save some money. I like that. So my to-do would be to get everything looked at that's in the green. The other thing that helps me out, because I have bad eyes, I have really bad eyes, guys, is to go through here and click this little box, which is a border. And I go down to all borders. And then that kind of, sometimes it clutters up my eyeballs, sometimes not. Anyhow, I have sometimes issues following my spreadsheets all the way over when I'm looking at lots of data. That's why it helps to clean up. And then for notes, this is another one that I like to use. Let's say we're going to do the word done. You can go up here and just say you want to only have blanks and not done. And then the dones are going to go away. So as soon as I type in done, oops, I can go up here and just kind of filter them out and get them removed. I think that's all I've got for tips, man. If you guys have any Excel tips, there's just a lot of information out there. I go to Google all the time for Excel tips. My husband also got me a nice coffee mug that has some codes and Excel tips on them. My favorite has been TikTok videos or whatever Facebook feed videos there are out there on data manipulation tips. I really like getting into the more complex count if, so then I can count if and have it tally up for different data sets, especially if you're analyzing sales or expenses for particular months or whatnot. But that is beyond data sorting. Now that the data is scrubbed up and ready to go, you should be able to have your action item and then sit there and knock it out and be efficient at work and get some money saved, right? All right, guys, I hope you guys are all having a great day. If you have any questions, share them below. Take care and have an amazing day.